Then when you do, pull out your F&A and mark the boxes. Don't complicate this thing. Don't ask them if it's okay for me to help you. They already said yes. You guys got it? So this is what we're going to get to today. Right? We got 1 more hour of this. Okay? But where are we at right now?
Free money, tax savings, retire.
We're at $1 million.
Yes.
I don't know what to do with it.
Right? So there's 3 reasons why people do this. And that's what we're going to start at right now. Is that clear?
Yes.
So does everybody have all their, like these 3 on all pages of their notebook already?
Y'all should. I told you to have it done.
Some of y'all
I got
got the
you back.
video.
Way back.
Did you hear it? Now you heard it didn't tell you guys?
She did.
I was like,
She
She didn't
did.
say nothing.
Nothing?
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
she did.
I know.
She told us.
It's okay. I got it.
We got it on tape where I'm saying like, y'all better.
I got proof to back you up.
Good. So listen to me. So during that process, when did I bash it?
Never.
Never.
I did it?
That's the
Mhm.
deal.
At the end because they told me to bash it.
Right.
I just asked. Right? But I remember, I never bashed anything, I'm just asking. Right? So let's do it one more time so you can hear it. Okay? You want to record it, you can record it. It's up to you. So, so there's 3 reasons why people do this. 1 is for the free money. They usually match you either dollar to dollar or a certain percentage. Number 2 is for the tax savings. Today's tax savings is usually between 2 to 10%. And number 3 is they can retire. What I've noticed that most people want to retire at 65. How about you guys?
Yep.
Yep. Okay, good. And so what if we had $1 million at retirement at the age of 65? How great of a retirement would that be for you guys?
Great.
It'd be good, right? I said, so the only way we can do this in these accounts, like called tax later, is by taking money from my gross pay, right? And so during my time of getting my gross pay, and I usually write a line, I draw a line, from gross pay to $1 million, there's 2 things that people don't pay attention to. Number 1 are fees, and number 2 is how your money grows. Let's talk about fees real quick. The average fee that we see is between 2 to 5% today. So, let's say for example, Van, let's say you had $10,000 in the bank account today, right? And I says, hey, if you come over here $10,000 with me, I'm gonna give you a 10% rate of return on your investment for the next 50 years. You don't have to put any more money into it, just put it with me, let it sit. I'm gonna give you for 50 years 10% rate of return. How's that sound?
That's awesome.
Right? I said, I gotta charge you minimum a 2% fee. Would you be okay with that?
Sure.
Yeah, of course, right? Because remember, a fee's only good if you have a benefit, right? I think the benefit's 10% consistent no matter what, right?
Mhm.
So let's say I have 10% guaranteed for the next 50 years, and now I get all the way up to 1.1 million. How excited would you be today if you had 1.1 million dollars in your account?
That's awesome.
Awesome,
That
right?
exceeds our goal.
There you go, right? I said, but remember, I took 2% every year for giving you your 10%.
Okay.
So just like the rule of 72, your money compounded, so did my fee compounded. Right?
Mhm.
So that means after 50 years, I would have been paid $700,000 on this investment. And would have left you with $470,000.
Oh, wait.
Now again, that doesn't sound very exciting, does it?
No.
I said, but if I took your 10,000 and turned it into 470, how great of an investment would that be?
That's good.
Right? But because you don't pay attention to the fees and you don't pay attention to how that money grows, we didn't know where that money went. Right? And you would never know you're supposed to have 1.1 million, you only got 470,000. This is what's happening to America in every household that I sit down with that does these type of accounts. Right? Nothing bad, it's just we weren't aware of it. Right? I said, but understand this, once I finally get to 65, do I want to take it out as income?
Yeah.
Right? But what if you can retire sooner and it says, hey, it is such a great job instead of waiting until 65 to get to $1 million, I got it at 45 or 50.
Even better.
Even better, right? But if I would hit $1 million at 50 and I touch it before I turn 50 and a half, guess what happens? I get a what?
A penalty.
A penalty, a federal tax, and a state tax.
Wow.
Now, I don't know if you know much about taxes, but if I had $1 million of income, my federal tax would be 37% and my state tax would be 13% today.
Okay.
So all that added together is about 60%, yes?
Yeah.
I said, so let's talk about what we talk about on time. I still take out $1 million at 65. I'm still gonna get what 37% penalty. 37% federal tax and 13% state tax. Doesn't change.
Okay.
I'm still gonna what? Lose 50% of my account.
60. Oh no, 50.
50,
50.
right? So 60, 50,
Got
and then
it.
50.
Okay.
I said now there's something called RMD where I have to take this money out by law. And if you don't, the IRS gives you the biggest penalty. I circle this. Biggest penalty known to man, which is 50% of your account. So imagine this, and again, because this is my years of experience, right? I say, so then, if you came home at the age of 72 years old and you didn't need your 401k money and you get a letter from the IRS, how excited would you be? You got a letter in the mail from the IRS, how excited would you be?
Not excited at all.
Not excited, but we gotta open it, don't we?
Yeah.
And you open it up and it says, hey, congratulations, happy birthday, Van. But because you didn't touch your money in time, we took half of it. Oh, again, happy birthday.
Mm-mm.
How upset would you be?
No, not this.
Upset to leave it in there or take it all out?
I want it all out.
And guess what? It's going to be federal and state tax after that.
Wow.
So even at $500,000, that same tax bracket stays the same, 37 and 13.
Wow.
So then my 5 million turns into, or $500,000 turns into 250 now.
Wow.
75%.
How's that sound for an investment?
That's not good.
Not good at all. But this is what 95% of Americans call a benefit. Would you consider it still a benefit?
No.
No? I said, so, looking at this, right? What if I had a solution to this problem? Would you want to know about it?
Yeah.
Well, let's think about the rules, right? We talk about one, right? I'm taking money from my gross pay, I'm taking it to my net pay now. It's already been taxed. $8 tax once cannot be taxed twice. That's illegal, right? Second, instead of charging you fees, I'm going to go no fees. No management fees at all for me,
Wow.
right? And instead of getting variable, I'm going to give you index. That's what you chose earlier.
Mm-hmm.
How better would that be so far?
That sounds pretty good.
Right? And because of this, right here, this is not going to happen.
Oh, okay.
And I get to keep all of this now. How's that sound for
That
retirement?
sounds great.
So if we can move you to something like that, would you take advantage of it?
Yes.
Great. So if I'm putting a financial plan together today for you, going back to those 7 things that we help families with, which ones do you really want to focus on in your plan, at least 7?
We'll definitely make sure that I have money in retirement.
Okay.
To make sure that that I can leave a legacy.
Uh-huh.
And I'm already out of debt, so my income is secure
Good.
or increasing.
So all I do is what? I pull my F&A out, and I mark the boxes. That's it. Okay? Then what I do is I put the F&A right in front of them. So they can fill it out. They have 100% ownership of this thing. They're making their own financial plan. I'm not doing it for them. That's what subconsciously it's doing in their mind. You guys got it?
Yes.
Good. So real quick, we're done with that? So, what did we learn from that? What part did I bash? What part did I make them feel like I made them feel bad about it? No, I just gave them awareness. Right? I didn't get them to make them feel bad and bash them and tell them they're an idiot. I didn't say any of that stuff. Right? Do I want to? Maybe. But I didn't. What else? What else do you get from that? This is the end of our presentation, guys. End. Yes, yeah, hi.
So while you're educating, but still at the end, you're like, if we can help you and put you in a situation, like, would you allow us to do that? And so you're already getting the commitment, like, yeah, that's, and okay, so that's what exactly when we just pull out, like, the sheet. So they're already like, yes, please help me, because this is the reality of what's going on. So yes, I want your help. So right when you're catching them right in that moment of like, aha, and you're closing them on that because they're already like, have all these emotions like, what is going on with my money? And you're like, well, here's our solution and here's how we help. So would you want us to help you? They're like, yeah. Okay.
Exactly.
And you just go into it.
Good, Dorothy.
You're making them come to a logical conclusion on their own.
Yeah. When it comes to money, we've been making a lot of emotional decisions, haven't we? Now we're making a logical decision like, hey, I'm putting money away and it's not doing what I want. Do I just still do that? Probably not.
No.
Right? Well,
I like how it evens the playing floor too. No matter who you're talking, and the more money they have, the more they're gonna need your help. But they don't even realize. At the beginning of the meeting, they have everything, you have nothing.
Yep.
And you instantly even the playing floor because the more money they have, the more they're gonna end up getting money taken away, they don't see that this money's gonna be getting taken away from them.
Yeah.
Even if they have it and they can see it right now,
Yeah.
they're gonna hit that 70.5 just like everybody else.
Yep.
And eventually,
Exactly.
and if it's just sitting somewhere, they're already not using it, it's already not making money for them. You have all the answers for what they already have, and then you just increased your value and gave them the takeaway at the same time,
Yep.
you know?
Good. What else? What else we get from this? You went through it with me right now, Larissa?
That it's just more of a conversation and you have to include them, which like including them is kind of like a nonverbal in itself.
Yep.
And then just giving them the F&A because
Yep.
it's giving them like a little bit of control, but you're not giving them the entire control of it.
True. Good. Good. Man.
More question too, on the F&A, so they're filling out, all of their information, including like their little account information, it's a couple things, I guess.
Say that again?
They're completing their information.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes. Everything.
That's
Right,
good. That's
like-
awesome. And I think exactly what Larissa said.
Good. Roland?
Yeah, you kind of like being the lead and making them make the decision
Yep.
of their financial plan.
Yeah, really empowering them, right? Like now they're like, okay, shoot, like I have all the information I need to make any good decision financially now. I'm gonna ask these simple 3 questions for the rest of my life. How does it grow? How does it get taxed? What's my rate of return?
Yeah.
Right? And if it's not getting what I want, I don't do it. Man, I think this is easy. I can do this now. That's the only thing is what? Because we don't make enough, I can't keep any of it. Because I can't keep any of it, I can't make any of it grow. Right? Well, so that's why our whole goal and what we're trying to do for our community is what? Teach people how to make it, how to keep it, and how to grow it. It's a big money's game. But how much of that do you know how to do? See, understand this, we all know how to make money, but are you making enough money to keep any of it? That's the problem. Right? So because we live check to check, what happens? You're in a tough position. So I can't what? I can't keep any of it. I'm living check to check with the next check coming in, and because of that, I can't grow any of it. Right? And if I can't grow any of it, I just gotta keep on working till when? Till my number's called. Right? Pretty simple. So, good. Yahira?
That story that we're telling, we have the John Bogle like laminate, but before it was just like referring to John Bogle and nobody knows who he is. But now you're really telling a story like, okay, now it's your money. So you're really like playing with like their emotions about their money because it's like, well, if I had $1 million, you know what I mean? It just puts a different perspective on the story. And the fact that you're just like story sell, just keep telling the story. And then I think it just helps capture the reality of what fees does for people and how it truly affects them.
True. Ben?
Plus, everyone has a financial advisor.
Yeah.
They don't know what they do.
Yeah.
Now we just don't know what they do.
Exactly. Right?
And
Good.
they
What
feel
else?
some kind of way about their financial advisor.
Oh, yeah. Again, nothing wrong with your advisor. I'm sure they would let you know that you're paying fees to potentially lose your money and take a big tax hit later. Again, you're not just paying them to what? Potentially lose your money. You're also paying them to get a potential huge tax hit later. That's what you're paying them for. You forgot that part, huh?
Yeah.
That's what you gotta remind people. I say you're not just paying them to potentially lose or gain money, but also a guaranteed loss when Uncle Sam comes. Isn't that exciting? But because they didn't ask you how you want your money to be taxed on the growth of your money, you went this route because that's what they told you. Because you didn't know it was their interest or your best interest. And this is why I get what? I get so convicted. Remember, it's not about what you know. You can be whatever you want, but if you're more convicted than anybody else across the kitchen table, you'll always win. You just gotta be more convicted. That's it. Like you gotta know that, hey, this right here is fucked up.
Yep.
Excuse my language, but you have to understand that. Like you gotta understand, like this is messed up right here.
Yeah.
Right? And that's all we need to make sure understand. So if I'm more convicted that this is messed up, then they're gonna start getting go shoot, this guy's passionate about, or this girl's passionate about what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Right? Like, dang, this is jacked up. I can see why you want to give people peace of mind. I don't have peace of mind no more. I thought I did. Before you walked in, I thought everything was set. I thought everything was in order. I thought I dotted my I's and crossed my T's. And you did, just on the wrong sheet. Right? Because you did everything else everyone told you before, yes?
Yes.
Now do what your gut's telling you to do. Good. What else? What else we get? You saying?
I like how, as the conversation was going, you were closing him in on all his answers, and eventually, when you really wanted to bash it, you were getting him to bash it for you.
Yep.
So That was pretty cool.
Yeah, he owned it, not me. I'm just explaining how it works. Now, do we do 401ks? Of course we do. Remember, we give you whatever you want. If you're a business owner, you want one of these. Why? Because now you make my business company look like a bigger asset, because now the employees are making money into my accounts and making it look like a bigger company. Right? Second thing is, because I get a tax write-off every dollar I match up with you. And I don't get any penalties on my business for offering a retirement account, because in California, by this year, I have to offer a retirement account depending on how many employees I have. And every year, it goes less and less amount of employees, all the way down to 25 employees in 3 years from now.
Gotta do it.
You have to have a retirement. And if you don't have anything, then you have to go, log into what called California Savers, which is a bond account. A bond.
Wait, so you have to offer your employees retirement?
Yep,
Or
you
if
have
you're-
to.
If you're self-employed, do you have to have a retirement?
If you have a certain amount of
That's
employees,
the
yeah.
law? Oh, okay.
Mhm.
So, what else? What else we get? Well,
Well, for me, when you drew that X, you went from a salesperson to a doctor. My whole perception changed about, when you walked in the door, you're a salesperson, you're gonna sell me something. All the way up to after retirement, because I'm still looking for the setup. When you get to retirement, $65 million, yeah, of course, everybody wants to. If I'm skeptical, I already got $1 million, so I'm already gonna retire, I'm already good.
Yep.
But when you went to fees, variable, I started recognizing my cancer, right? Like, this is what's wrong. I know it's wrong, but nobody's taught me right. And I'm eating, I'm living good, I'm on filet mignon, and I know this is good, but I know it's gonna catch up with me.
Yeah.
But when you wrote that X, I was like, oh, okay, there it is. You know, you had me at 50, 50, and 50, because that's my money going away, that's me dying. And when you started writing in green, I was like, man, he just brought me back to life. I didn't even know I was dead.
Yep.
You know?
Exactly.
So you're my doctor now.
I agree.
You're my
Good.
doctor.
That's right. Good. What else? What else we get? Antonio?
I like, when you went with the, financial analysis sheet, you just said, let me check the, which do you want, and you check the box for them, and then you just gave them the sheet to have them fill out the rest.
That's right.
So,
Good. What else? Yahira?
I like how now we're putting like $1 million and like, I mean, it goes back to our goal, $1 million in retirement, $1 million in protection. So not only are we reminding them, this is our goal, is to get you to $1 million, but using it with like, okay, now imagine if you take out your money at 55, now you're losing 60%. How much do you have? And they're like, oh shit, like 400,000, you know what I mean? So giving them real numbers and putting it in perspective for them, I think truly like just helps people understand the severity of taxes, of how it'll affect their income. Because I think a lot of people don't understand that aspect of it. Like they're like, oh, taxes aren't going to affect me later on. But this really puts it in a perspective where they're like, no, this is income when you retire. You're going to get taxed on it.
Yeah, exactly.
So I like that.
Good. Anything else? Roland?
Yes. This whole scenario kind of like sellotape the relationship between you and the client.
Yeah. Makes it even more closer and tighter, right?
Yes, tied to the relationship.
Good. What else? Larissa?
Just to bounce off what Yahi was saying, you know, you're showing them like $1 million and what the tax bracket is for that, but most people don't even have like 50 grand.
Yeah.
So they're gonna go, oh wait, I don't even have that. So they're gonna be more inclined to want to try to do better and save more.
Right.
And figure out, be more open to a different vehicle, because clearly.
And try to play catch up, and trying to find a vehicle that can help me make more money. Right? I said, now this all sounds good, right? That gives us $2 million, but what if we don't make enough to put money aside?
Exactly.
So if I make money every single week, I'm making money, but I don't have any money to keep at the end of the week. What kind of life am I living?
Paycheck to paycheck.
Paycheck to paycheck. You know how many people like that in our community right now?
Oh, plenty.
Yep.
You see why it's so important? Our number one goal is to help people with income today, right? And then now what happens? Now if I make more income, now I can keep some of that money now, right? I still live the same lifestyle,
Right.
but now I get to keep it. Woo! You actually have an account that has money in it now. Isn't that cool?
Yes.
And then now what happens? You can move that into another account that actually lets it grow. Make it, keep it, grow it. Make it, keep it, grow it. Make it, keep it, grow it. That's what we do. Make it, keep it, grow it. That's all we do. So we show people how to make money, how to keep it, and how to grow it. Right? We used to show people how to make, save, and protect their money. Yes?
Yep.
But I don't like saving because people don't ever touch it. Right? Protect it, yes. But at the end of the day, what the heck's protection if you don't know what protection is? Right? But if I teach people how to make money, I teach them how to keep money, I teach how to grow that money that they keep, and get them to their financial goals is what I do for a living every day. I said, are you doing that right now? Sounds like you need some help with that. Would you take some help for free? Just curious. Pretty simple. What do we do for families? What do I do? I own a financial firm. My financial firm specializes in showing people how to make money, how to keep that money, and how to make that money that's kept growing. That's all we do every day.
Yep.
I said, I love what I do so much. Wouldn't you love what you do if you did that for people?
Hell yeah.
What if I taught you and made some money on the side too? Would you be open to that?
Sure.
That's it. I show people how to make money. I show people how to keep it once they make it. I teach you how to grow that money that they keep. That's all I do. And my goal is to give them peace of mind at the end of the day. How many households need peace of mind today?
I love everyone.
Everyone, right? Just curious, does this household have peace of mind? No? Is that because we just haven't planned yet? Or we just don't think about it? Make sense? So again, we know these rules, right? So I don't have to role play these rules. You guys know these rules already, yes?
Yes.
If not, just practice it, right? I don't want to go too deep into this stuff. I just want to make sure we know how to do this stuff, okay? This right here is backed up by this, right? How your money grows and how your fees are, right? Remember I talked about this?
Yeah.
Here's my story. So yes, the only thing I give you is credibility from John Bogle and Vanguard. So when I say the word Vanguard, they start listening. Yeah? I said, so, I can tell a story. Before I even show them, I can tell a story. I said, hey, Van, if you had $10,000 on the bank today, and we had a conversation about making money, keeping it, and growing it, right? And I said, hey, that $10,000 that you kept, if I can grow it at 10%, right, every single year for the next 50 years, would that be a good investment for you?
Absolutely.
Absolutely, right? So think about this. What if that got you to $1.1 million? Wouldn't that be awesome?
That'd be fantastic.
I said, but to get you that 10%, I have to charge you 2% to get it. Would that be worth it?
Sure.
Of course you would, right? So now what happens? That means I get 2%, you get 10%. Is that a deal or what?
We get it.
Of course it is, right? Now what happens? You have $1 million, but you gotta take my fee. After 50 years of 2%, I'm taking out $700,000 of my investment.
Okay.
Of your investment, sorry. Right? And you get to keep $470,000. Now knowing this, is that the best investment today?
No.
No, but most Americans are going through this every day because they don't pay attention to fees. Right? Let's talk about why it's important to pay attention to how your money grows. So most people have these accounts in a variable way, yes? So I don't know if you remember 2001 and 2003, but the average person lost about 47%. So let's be a little simpler, and let's say we lost 40% in my retirement account. Okay? Well, to recapture what I lost, I have to gain 67% gains to recapture what I lost. When have you seen any loss come back the same year? How about 2 years? Maybe 3 years? Maybe 4. So you're looking between 3 to 7 years and wait for your money to recapture. Right? Now in 2008, we had a 50% loss, didn't we? We were actually 57% loss. Let's call it 50. To regain my losses of a 50%, I have to gain 100% to break even. Now I agree. I said, so looking at this, you see why we want to give people peace of mind at $1 million of retirement. We want to give them guarantees. We want to make sure it's tax free. We want to charge no fees.
Yeah.
Make sense? Let me tell you why taxes are so crucial. Pretty simple. So I bring the fees, the alignment of the fees right here. When it talks about how many grows, I pull it out here. Then I go back to the yellow pen and talk about taxes. Hey, we got to our goal, Van, $1 million. Woohoo! But if we touch it too soon, this is what happens. If we touch it on time, this is what happens. If we touch it too late, this is what happens. Is this the best option for your future retirement? So would you want to know, would you probably think, just like I thought 17 years ago, there's got to be a solution to this problem. Well, there is. There's the rules that we just learned today. So we talked about what? $1 million for retirement, guarantees. So instead of getting variable, we're going to get index strategy, guarantees, and we're going to pull that money out tax-free. So we can knock this out. How do we do that? Well, I go from my gross pay to my net pay. And because we're not going to charge any management fees, you're going to have no fees with us. So now I get to keep the whole $1 million. How's that sound?
Great.
So now knowing this, should you keep doing what you're doing now or do something different?
Let's do something different.
Okay. So if I were to put a plan together for you to reach some of your financial goals, right? which one of these 7, or all, if not all of them, would you want to address in your financial plan?
Income, retirement, and, legacy.
Good, that's it. And now I just go straight F and A. And I say, hey, since you have a 401k, you mind if I see your statement and see how it's working for you so far? Since we're home,
Ooh, I
since you're at
haven't
your
opened
house.
one of those in years.
Paper, honey.
Huh, you? I don't know what that
Listen,
sounds.
listen to this. What do people say? What's the biggest objection when you ask them for statements?
I don't have it. I don't even know where it's
Let me
at.
ask you, when your kid comes to your house and you're asking for something, and they say they don't have it, what do you tell them?
Go find it.
So where would you go find it right now if you had to? I mean, you see what's happening.
Shit, let me go look.
Oh, so you can get online there, right? Oh, let's go look.
Oh yeah. Everyone
phone,
can get
right?
online nowadays.
You can get it on social media, you can get it on your retirement account, right?
Mm,
So let's check.
that's a
I said,
good.
great, your phone takes screenshots, right?
Send it to me.
If not, let me teach you. You know how to send a text message, right? Send me a text right now with that picture. And now you don't have to worry about looking for it ever again. How's that sound? Right? So, this is our presentation. This is our very first presentation. That's it. We're done.
Woo!
Now we gather an F and A. Right? But you gotta practice this.
Yep.
And make sure you know how to tell the story of this. Right? Remember, tax later, they all work the exact same way. The only thing is that tax later in an IRA, they don't match you, do they?
No.
No, so then that's not one of the reasons they're doing it. I said, but I say is that the major reason why people do a tax later account are these 3 reasons. The 3 major reasons that people do a tax later account is because of free money, tax savings, and retirement. Is that clear? So now we're in a position to what? Be in a good position to go in and let them make that good decision for their best financial situation. Okay? So again, it's not. Again, I know it's a lot of information, but it's not really. Right? If you go back 2 years ago, right? That was a lot of information, even though it was not a lot of information for this office.
Even just last year.
I know. The last year.
What's that?
I said even just like last year, a couple months ago, it was
The whole
different than
flip
this.
chart.
Yeah, the whole flip chart.
So it's Calvin, you had your hand up?
Yeah, on the 59 and a half, you said you changed it to 37.
Well, yeah. If you look at the tax bracket, what's the tax bracket at $1 million?
37 and 13. I just looked it up.
3713, right? So if I'm taking $1 million out of my retirement account, what's 500,000?
It's the same.
Same. What's 465,000? Same. Right? What's all the way to 386, 387? Same. So 387 and above is all going to be 37% and 13% state.
Yep.
So,
That's what take less, 50%.
yeah, exactly. So now we go less, it's just going to be less money, but it's still going to be what, 50%, 40%?
More than 2 to 10?
Yeah, exactly. It's always going to be more than 2 to 10. Believe me, it's always going to be more than 2 to 10. Unless you're at 200,000 or less, like we talk about. Yes, man.
Cool thing is, I know you were saying, like, if they say they have an IRA, there's no match and all that. And so match is great because that's the first thing, mainstream workers or Sacramento County, state, whatever, CalPERS, all that, that's the only thing they know. So someone who does have IRA and stuff like that, has a few more, diversification, I guess. They're still only doing it for the tax savings, and so that, I see why you pull that down. Cause that's the main thing anyway,
Yeah.
is they're looking for the 2 to 10%.
Yep. But remember, every tax later account is looking for some tax savings.
Yeah.
That's what purpose
That's
is.
the next thing they've been sold, cause when they're doing their taxes, they're like, I need to add this for my taxes, I need to see how much a write-off I have.
Yep. Because remember, as a non-business owner, you have no way to negotiate your taxes every year. Yes, well,
That was part of my question, cause you remember in the presentation when we were talking about the baby boomers.
mm-hmm.
So they're like all retiring right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like even at the building that I got right now, 8 people retired like within the past 3 weeks.
No, yeah.
Like
Every 7 seconds, someone's retiring.
They're coming, and then half of them will come out of the state, federal workers.
And Leo's hiring them.
They're. So, I had a question, so with that being a filter, because I'm looking at it just like that, I'm 62 years old, I've had a 401k for the past 20 years, I have $200,000 saved up, you know, half of that is in an IRA or a retirement account already.
Right.
But I do not have enough time in my life between 62 and 70 for that money to double at all.
Right.
I cannot afford to have any money taken out in taxes at all.
Yep.
But yet I'm getting ready to face it because I got 8.5 more years, and they're getting ready to take half of my money.
Right.
So question, I don't know that.
Yep.
This is every single every person that's gonna retire in the next 5 years, which is every baby boomer.
Mm-hmm.
Every baby boomer, which is how many people in the country, right?
Right.
So all of those people have that much time. Some of them just started getting their benefits.
Yeah.
They just turned 62. I work with a guy, he just turned 62, a veteran, you know, and he's like, I got money coming from this, and this. And I noticed he never said anything about what he's getting ready to face. He's only got 6 more years, and everything he just said that he's getting in checks now, it's all gonna be what? At 72, at 70 and a half, if it's not put where?
Well, it doesn't matter. It's still gonna happen because it's taxpayer account.
Right,
There's nothing we can avoid now.
right. So,
Those 20-year decisions is putting you in a position we can't
so
do anything
they
about
can
now.
be my example when I do the presentation, because all those 25-year-olds that don't wanna do this at all, they don't see that, especially 20-year-olds that just
Well, yeah,
got
because who do you go to ask for advice from?
veterans and.
The advice from the parents who are doing the same thing, thinking it's still gonna work.
Right, right. I just asked a question because I'm seeing that as it's a filter. Everybody fits in there,
No, yeah.
you know. And when you put them through that filter,
Yeah.
they're gonna get a result out. whether
Everybody
they see it
wants
or not.
this.
Yeah.
Yep,
Everybody wants this,
yep.
but nobody knows how.
If you have it at 62, then what's gonna happen to
Mhm.
it? You
Same.
know.
Yeah, same. Same. I don't care if you don't care if you're 40
Right,
or you're 95. It's still gonna happen.
right. So remedy. I mean, I'm already 62. Is there
Mhm.
what happens?
Yeah. So whatever money I'm putting in, I just take it from my net pay instead of my gross pay, and I take the money elsewhere.
Gotcha. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So my question to you is, if you kept wearing your favorite pants and your favorite pants has a hole in it, would you still keep putting money in that pocket?
There you go. Okay. Gotcha.
Well, that's the decision you're making today. Keep putting in the same pocket.
Right.
It's up to you though. It's your money, not mine.
Mm-hmm.
That's whatever you want to do, whatever you want to accomplish.
You're at the bottom reach.
Yeah.
That
Right.
means that means the more money they already have in that meeting, the less likely you should be leaving there without them signing something.
Yeah.
Because they're already stuck.
Exactly. Yeah. Aaron?
Right now when you were talking about like free money and how people like they get super excited for that. Well, after I like sat down with one of my friends, I educated him. He ended up like, you know, doing something for himself. He still asked me like, well, there's another account at work where they're offering me free money. Like, do you think I should do it?
Mm-hmm.
And I just went back to like, well, let's talk about this. What does that look like, right? So I re-educated him on what that looks like if they get free money. And he's like, okay, then yeah, maybe I won't do it anymore. And I'm like, hey, it's your decision,
Yeah.
but this is how it works.
It's
So
your hard-earned
even
money, not mine.
even if we like educate and like show all this great information, people still fall back to their like natural like default of like, oh, it's free money. You know what I mean? So the education that we provide, like it's whole like necessary. Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
for free.
Yeah, like it's not free. Yeah, like
Yeah, and then we gotta understand how that works, right? So
Yeah.
remember we talked about this, right? There's three partnerships when you have a government-based